What's up, everyone? I promised a new video on my Instagram post. I think it was Thursday I did that. Today's Sunday, and I finally got around to doing it because I finally got everything set up the way I like it. Let's take a look at the new and improved wrestling magazine room, shall we? Let's start up here. Oh yeah, there we go. Shelves are now in that corner. And I have all the Bret Hart magazines, the Shawn Michaels ones, the Diesel, Kevin Nash, Razor Ramon, Scott Hall, anyone from that era of the WWF, from 92 to 95, 96? 96, I guess, is when Razor and Diesel left. But I do have Nash and Hall stuff up there too. So that's that area right there. And underneath, of course, I have the Diesel and Shawn Battle Pack and the Classic 2 set from Jakks. Now, the posters are down. I took down posters. Why? Because posters, big posters like that, more so for the kiddies, not for the adults. Even though they were all legends on the posters, it still felt very teenager-like, even though this room is pretty much also teenager-like, I guess, for the things I have. But I printed out some photos of Brutus Beefcake, Razor Ramon, Bret Hart, of course, Mariah May / Blake Monroe, all on the wall there. Also, you may notice that the Hasbro Retros are down. Lex Luger and the British Bulldog remain there. The other ones, not all, but some other ones went up for sale, and I already sold like 9 of them. And I got like $160 for 9. I guess that's not bad. Sold them locally to a collector here in my town, which was kind of cool. So he at least appreciates them and is happy to have them in his collection. Now, right here, this is the WrestleMania 23 and TNA Bound for Glory section, because I was at both those pay-per-views. Got the DVDs on the wall, the ticket stubs, me in the ring announcing for a indie promotion called PWA in Ontario, Canada, back in 2006. Got to ring announce the name Steve Corino. That's right, Steve Corino was in the main event in my first ever ring announcing match, so that's kind of neat. There's me and the Iron Sheik from 2007 when I met him at a PWX show in Ontario. Beefcake figures. You can see behind the one beefcake, there's a hole and some paint missing. That's because I used to have these vinyl, shelves there, and when I took it down, it took some of the paint. I was like, fuck, oh wow. FWF Hall of Fame, what is that? That is the backyard wrestling promotion I did for in my teens and into my early 20s. My wrestling name was Scott Chambers. It was a play on Shawn Michaels, so I was a Hall of Famer. These written things here are the stuff I wrote. I was a journalist at one time for my town's newspaper and photographer, and I did stories for the FWF to get that notice. Hopefully it would bring fans into the show. Did it? I don't know. Maybe it did. I'm not sure. Here's on top of the dresser, we got some Hasbros. I got the DX and NWO in Austin. I just put them loose because they look cooler that way now. The Rey Mysterio mask. I think it's Rey. I mean, I don't really know. If not, it's a Mexican luchador mask, but it's on a styrofoam head helmet there thing. And we got Scotch tape, which I forgot to remove off of Hulk Hogan and Mr. T. Let me do that now. There we go. And of course, the Funkos of Bret and Shawn are right there. And of course, the dresser's here. Why is the dresser here and not in the corner? We'll get to that in a second. Over here, more FWF things that I've done and I put on the side there. Right here, we got FWF posters and articles I wrote. There is Showtime Eric Young. That's right, Fritzy, Jeremy Fritz. He wrestled in the FWF with us. He was my next door neighbor and friend for many, many years. Still a friend. Online friend now because I don't see him. He's in Tennessee, but still a friend. Now, we get to where this area is over here. The dresser's gone. Why is the dresser gone? Because shelves. Oh yeah, I finally did it. Finally chose to do it. Put shelves over here too. Now, the reason why I did it was because these shelves were on sale at Walmart for $9 each. down from like, I forget what the price was. Like they were super cheap, but I got them. And yeah, so I added some magazines here. We got the Barry Windham section there. The Rock and Roll Express is here. The second row is all Macho Man and Liz. Bottom one, we have the McMahons, like anything Vince was on, Flair, Sid, and of course the big shows that Crockett put on in the 80s. Down here, magazines all bagged and boarded. A lot of money. Man, that was a lot. I'm still not done. I still have to bag and board a little bit more, but damn, that gets pricey, unfortunately. I bet you I spent over $500 so far doing that, which is ridiculous. Some photos I put up of events I was at. I was at the WWF house show there on the far left in Chatham, Ontario in 1996. I saw Mikey Whipwreck wrestle in London, Ontario when I was in college. There's me and Petey, me and Showtime, Jeff Jarrett, and a WWF show again from 96. The Jeff Jarrett photo is taken from Bound. What's it called? Not Bound. Border City Wrestling in 2005. They did a show with TNA because Scott D'Amore ran Border City Wrestling in Windsor, and that is the show where Jeff Jarrett defeated Raven to become NWA World Champion. So I got to see that live. Up here, we got, now there's some more Hasbros. I kept Hogan, Macho, and Piper. The BCAs are there. Some photos. The records are still there, as are the video games. And then, of course, down here, magazines of the WWF kind. Of course, behind Shawn will be more Shawn. Behind Owen is more Owen. Behind Razor is more Razor and such. So I kind of did it that way, so I knew where things were. Over here, there's a Steve Mongo McMichael football card, which I pulled out of a wax box many years ago. First pack I opened, I got Mongo. Survivor Series and Royal Rumbles programs. Be a Man vinyl, CDs. Diesel and Shawn Hasbro's, they stayed. The magazine my mom got me for Christmas before she passed away. And of course, me and Steve Corino with Corino autographing it, and me and Gangrel with Gangrel autographing it. So that's kind of neat. So I got the Bendhams on the side there. I printed out some 5x7s to fill that space. And of course, the spotlights are up here, and behind those are magazines with Boss Man, Rockers, Brett, Beefcake, and Hogan on them. Over on this side, I kept Warrior and the Hart Foundation. Of course, the BCA still stay. And here is some more magazines. Now, these shelves up here are I don't know if you can tell, probably not. I'd have to probably get up higher. I have two shelves like in front of each other now. So I put double the magazines up there. So we have the Superstars magazines, but behind that, I think it's just Pro Wrestling Illustrated is behind all those. And of course, I got WrestleMania 1 through 16 now up here for the after mags, talking about that. So over here now, pretty much the same. Again, if there's Hogan behind it, and vice versa all the way down. And again, up here, did the same thing. Two white shelves, layered. Of course, these are all my first editions, are all here of every magazine that came out that I have, any first editions. The PWI 500s are there. This is any magazine with Hogan, with the WWF title, AWA title, or NWA title on the cover, my Four Horsemen section, and that is a Hulk Hogan section that goes 2 rows back. This remains the same here, the VHS area, and then down here, of course, we got the Austin, Rock, Foley, Steiners, and DX section, Undertaker, Bulldog, Hardys, and Edge and Christian, Sable, and then China, I believe, is with Lita and them, just in Deborah, like women who are on the cover. These are the newer PWIs I finally bagged and boarded. I still need like 13, I think, bags. So I got more bags coming in tomorrow. To finish that off, I don't know where I'm going to put them. Removing the black shelves actually may have taken away space for me, even as weird as that sounds, because this opens up the room, but having them all piled on top of each other was kind of handy, but it was also dangerous in case, they got wet and mold and mildew and all that stuff set in. I don't want to ruin these magazines I've spent way too much money on. Again, here is the same section I've had for a while. Road Warriors do 2 sections, the Von Erichs. That one has Jericho and Benoit and such in it. The Russian section, Piper has 2 and Jake the Snake has 1. The Starcades, 83 through, I want to say 92, 91. I think maybe 91 are in there. The year in review for photos from Sports Review Wrestling, and then into the Wrestler. And of course, these are just posters I took out of magazines and board and bagged them to have them on display. I think they look kind of cool like that, because I'm never going to see them. Well, I don't see them really now either, but I'm never going to see them in the magazine. And I don't really care if I took them out of the magazines. I still have the magazine. I got the posters. That's kind of all that matters. All right, here we got Ric Flair, Luger and Sting section, the PWI special magazines, the Flair Steamboat section, the Koloff Magnum section, and the Midnight Express section. Over here we have all the year in reviews from 83 to 2000 are there. This section here, we got 2 rows of Sting, 2 rows of Luger, and then down here is 4 rows of Hogan magazines on the cover. Right I hit a button. Oh, I think everything's fine. Right here we have Hogan, Sting, and Luger all in their section. And this section here is the newer style magazines that came out by the WWE that I wanted with certain people on the cover. There. Now we look up here. Not much has changed here. We got the WrestleMania programs, which are all legit from the show. As you can tell, there's no barcode. The only one that has a barcode is WrestleMania 9, so that was definitely bought at a variety store. The rest, though, are all from the show. Then, of course, up here, wrestlers with their title belts. I started off with Hogan, Savage, Hogan again, Warrior, Flair, Bret, Yoko, Bret, Diesel, Bret, Shawn, and Shawn. For the down second row, we got the King with Duggan and Savage, Intercontinental with Macho, Steamboat, Honky, Warrior twice, Tornado, Bret, Shawn. The tag titles with Bulldogs, Hart Foundation, Strike Force, and Demolition. And then the $1 Million Man with the $1 Million title. This here is my Dangerous Alliance section. I have 3 magazines with them on the cover, so I threw that there. Now, over here, we got some more Funkos and photos of Lyra Valkyria and Mariah May / Blake Monroe with title belts. Those shells were cheap too. I got them on clearance at Walmart, so I put them there. So yeah, this is what the room has become now. It's more wide open. It's really, like, when you go back here and look, it's like, holy crow, like this, it does look cooler. Like I said, though, the magazines on the floor, they kind of have to be there, because I don't have room for anything. Like over here, I got these like Ricky Steamboats here, and then it goes into The Undertaker, $1 Million Man's there. I think it goes into Rick Martel after that. The Tommy Rich section. There's these magazines over here are with title belts on the cover. Over here is just like some randoms. Same with over here. It's just like pretty much just random stuff. But, I tried to put it in order the best way I could, the best way I knew how, so I knew where things kind of were. And the funny thing is with doing this is it kind of helps me know where things are better. If I still kept them organized by magazine make and year, I probably wouldn't know where a lot of the things were. But by putting them by character, like I know if I want to find a Savage magazine, I know where they are. If I want to find a Rock and Roll Express magazine, I know where they are. So that to me actually makes it better to find things. It's just my way of, making it easier and making it look neater and making it look more of a fancier collection. So as for the magazines on the floor, I have run out of wall space clearly for shelves. I guess it's just going to have to be built up on the floor. Yeah, unless I get rid of this shelf here and put like white shelves there. I don't really want to do that because where are my DVDs going to go? Because, you know, this room is small. I don't really know I couldn't guess the width and dimension and all that kind of stuff and length. I don't know. I'm not good at that off the top of my head. Probably I'm like 5'11", and this wall here has to be probably 6'4", 6'5" long, maybe. I don't know, maybe 6. It's hard to say. So, and then of course, if these closet doors were still on here, imagine how small this room would feel. It would be ridiculous. So the doors are off, opened it up much more nicer to have this awesome section of wrestling. I love it. I think it's cool. I love how I did it. But like I said, the magazines and boards must stay on the floor now. I know Bill from Pro Wrestling Mags has that same issue, only he's got, gazillion magazines, and they stack up super high on his floor because he has like everything from like the beginning till like 94, 93 or whatever, and then stuff afterwards that he wanted to get. So he's got a lot. I'm working with stuff from like 80 to 2000 for the main part, with the PWIs down there, everything from 2015 until now. But of course they were only doing like bi-monthly, right? And then they ended up, so they did 6 a year, and then they ended up doing 9 a year. So it's not like that's taking up a lot of room. It's just everything from 80 through 2000 that I do have. And I don't even have everything yet, but it's just still. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's been a while since I did one, but I wanted to show you all the new way that this room is. I don't see it changing now. I mean, I know people always say that, and everything always changes, but it would be really hard to change what's in here now, because this is pretty much how it's got to be, because I have no room left, like just none. I've used everything, at my fingertips that I could do. So, but yeah, this is it. Again, thank you all for watching. And until I do my next one, I'll talk to you later.